Welcome to the Chef's Kitchen Restaurant Edition. I'm your host, Nicole Gaffney, and we're here today at Nordon Preferred Kitchen Equipment Studios. And we're here today with 1741 on the Terrace at the historic Hotel Bethlehem. And joining me in the kitchen today is Executive Chef Michael Adams. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure to have you here. So what are we making today?
We are going to make a really nice breakfast dish. It's going to be some seared salmon. We're going to prepare that with some poached eggs.
Very nice.
And we're going to make a little saffron aioli for it with some Swiss chard.
Sounds beautiful. Let's get started.
So, great. First thing we're going to do is we're going to get the potatoes going. That'll be the
little fingerlings?
longest. Yep, little fingerlings. And we're just going to cut them slightly on a bias. Just make sure they're consistent in size so you get consistent cooking time and you don't have one that's, you know, not cooked, undercooked.
Falling apart.
So keep them consistent.
Why do you like to use the fingerlings?
I think they have a little bit firmer texture and they're a little more forgiving when you're actually cooking them. So they maintain that firmness and they have a little bit more of a earthy flavor than say a russet or a red skin potato.
Okay. Having something forgiving is always nice in the kitchen.
So we're just going to take the fingerlings, we're going to add a little bit of aromatics, so we're just going to add a little bit of thyme and a bay leaf, and we're just going to tear that in half.
Very fragrant.
And a little bit of salt.
Okay.
And then we're going to take just one smashed clove of garlic.
Just one?
Just one.
All right.
And we're just going to smash it a little bit.
That kind of releases all the oils?
Yep. And you don't want them to be, you know, taste like garlic. It's just going to enhance the flavor of the potato.
Great.
Okay, so we're going to drop those. And they'll cook for about 8 minutes.
All right.
So by starting off with the aioli, we're just going to take a little bit of lemon juice.
Always fresh lemon juice, right? Never the bottled stuff.
Always. And then we're going to take a little bit of minced garlic, just a touch.
Okay. Oh, so a really small amount. You just took a little sliver.
That's it.
Personally, I love garlic, so you could go crazy with me. But
Sure. If you want to add a little more, if you really like garlic, by all means.
I have a lot of people I need to talk to today, so it's probably best that I refrain.
We're going to do the egg yolk.
Nice separation technique. Anything
All right.
to consider when you're doing that? Any tips?
Just don't get shell in the aioli. That's about
Very
it.
simple.
So we're just going to add a pinch of salt, and we're going to and we're going to crush the saffron. This is Spanish saffron.
Oh, it's really, really beautiful.
So we're just going to crush that up a little bit and add that to it. And from here,
wow,
we're just going to stir that in.
what does saffron taste like? Can you describe that?
So I would say it almost has a slight fennel kind of smell to it.
It is really unique.
Anise hyssop, if you were going to use an herb, but it has those dimensions to it. So we're just going to take this, and then we're just going to add a touch, just a little bit of water to it.
And what's that do?
So you're just loosening up, and you're going to add this warm. It's going to aid in the emulsification of the oil that we're going to add to it.
Okay.
So we're just going to take this, and we're going to slowly add the oil, ever so slowly.
And what kind of oil do you use?
So we're just going to use a neutral oil, and then we're going to finish it with a little bit of olive oil.
Okay, otherwise would the flavor be too strong?
Yeah, the olive oil, if you use too much of it, it's going to give it kind of a bitter flavor.
Okay.
So you just want to add a little bit at the end.
Drops.
Drip it at the beginning,
Okay.
and little by little.
And that's just starting to get the emulsification happening.
Correct.
So what's new at 1741?
Obviously, we have spring coming up, and we're going to be launching our spring menu.
Great.
We're also going to be featuring some of the dishes, previous dishes and current dishes that we'll be doing from the chef's kitchen.
Yay, we love that.
So that'll be great. We also have, right now, we're featuring our 3-course $45 prefix menu. We're actually going to be running that all the way up until December.
Oh,
So
wow.
we're essentially doing that Sunday through Thursday. and it's going to be 3 courses, $45, and that menu changes every week.
Nice.
So
seasonal.
Yep, seasonal, and
Great value.
spring is right around the corner, so all of those fresh local ingredients are going to be available to us.
Of course. It's such a beautiful dining room over there. Who wouldn't want to go and enjoy a nice meal on the terrace?
Great view of the historic section of the city, and amazing service, and our wine spectator wine list.
Yep.
And so it's a great spot.
And the windows there are just absolutely amazing, and the views, everything is so nice. But the food, I have to say, is probably the best part.
Well, thank you. We have a good team back there.
And a great leader.
Stay tuned for more from the Hotel Bethlehem. We're back with more from the Hotel Bethlehem.
All right, so we're going to add about 5 ounces of the oil, and then we're going to just finish it with a little bit of the olive oil.
Look how thick it got.
Right, so you want it just slightly thinner than a mayonnaise. So this is going to be our sauce, and yes, this is for breakfast, so it's going to be delicious. It's going to pair up with the salmon really nice. Okay, so we're just going to add a little bit of pepper,
Okay.
and a touch more salt,
Beautiful color, too, from that saffron. It's really nice and yellow.
and then we're just going to let that set.
Great.
Okay.
Put it over here.
All right, now let's check the potatoes. Let's see where they're at. And they are not quite ready. So now we're going to start with, we're going to sear the salmon a little bit.
What kind of salmon do we have here?
So this is organic salmon. It comes from New Zealand. It is a king salmon.
Wow.
And it has a really great fat content to it.
Nice.
It also, obviously it's organic. We can't get, in the United States, you can't get organic salmon.
Right.
We don't have the standards for that. So we're getting this from New Zealand.
Excellent. Now, will this be on your breakfast menu?
So we'll run this as a feature on the breakfast menu. So we'll run it for a couple weeks, and then we'll change it, and it'll evolve into something else as the season goes.
Something even better, I'm
Yep.
sure.
So we're just gonna take the salmon, and we're just gonna cut it like this, and you're gonna have just 2 pieces, and this will actually serve 2 people with the poached egg.
Nice.
And we're just gonna add a little bit of the neutral oil.
And is this skinless?
We took the skin off ahead of time.
Great.
Yep. So that is off of the salmon. So we're just going to take a little bit of salt, and we're going to add a little bit of Hungarian paprika. And we're going to do a nice light sear on these. So you don't want the pan smoking hot. You know, you just want it right when it starts to sizzle. And we're going to let those cook right in the pan. And
Great.
we're going to keep it on low heat.
And are we going to get that cooked all the way through, or are we going to leave it a little rare?
It's going to be slightly undercooked.
Great. That's how we like it.
And when you season both sides of the salmon. You're eating both sides, season both sides.
This is true. Lovely.
All right, so we're just going to let these really slowly cook. And these are almost ready. Let's test them again.
So we're going to cook them again after they're done being
So we're going to
boiled.
saute them. We're going to brown them up a little bit. And tell me what you think.
Sounded tender
I think
when
they're
the knife
perfect.
went through it.
I'm going to start with a little bit of oil.
They are perfect. Really nicely seasoned, too.
We're going to do a little bit of shallot.
So this is almost going to be like your version of a hash brown?
Pretty much.
Cool.
Yep.
Now, what's the point of cooking the potatoes in the boiling water first? Why couldn't you just cook them in the pan?
So what happens to the potato? Number one, you're going to have an issue with the potato. Cooking it from raw, it's going to take a really long time.
Yeah.
And it's going to almost dry it out, and then you're not going to get the herbs and the infusion of the garlic. So basically, you want to have all of those aromatics into the potatoes before they even hit the pan.
So just more flavor and better
Yep.
texture.
That's it. Okay, so we're going to just sweat those, and these are finished. So we're going to strain the water off.
Okay. You make your hash browns the same way at the restaurant?
So just these for the specials.
Oh, okay.
We do a hash brown, a grated potato, for a regular,
Classic.
a regular breakfast business.
Cool.
And we're just going to pull these herbs out.
Is it okay? Some of that thyme still stays in there?
Absolutely.
Great.
All right, so these are lightly caramelizing right now. And we're gonna add the potatoes in.
Gorgeous.
We'll leave that garlic in there.
I'll eat that piece.
And we're just gonna get those light golden brown. And by this time, our salmon's just about ready to, we're gonna turn these.
Nice sear. Great color from the
And
paprika
we're just
too.
gonna let that, we're gonna turn that down and let those continue cooking. Okay, so now while the potatoes are going, we're gonna season those up a little more. And we're gonna add a little bit of butter to it.
Oh, of course. It's not breakfast without a little butter.
So those will get nice and caramelized, and now we have water simmering over here. And this is for the poached egg. We're just gonna add a little bit of vinegar.
Okay, what's that do?
So the vinegar aids in the coagulation at the beginning of the cooking process. So instead of the egg falling into the water and kind of that egg white falling apart, it's just gonna give that instantaneous coagulation.
Hold it all together.
So, and I'm just gonna add a bay leaf to it. Just to give you, the more flavor you have in the whatever you're cooking, it could be 1 or it could be 5. You know, you always wanna season it.
Stay tuned for more with Chef Michael Adams. We're back with more from the Hotel Bethlehem.
We're waiting for the water to come up to a boil here for the poached eggs. But in the meantime, we're gonna get a little bit of, for the spring season here, we're gonna make a nice little asparagus salad for this poached egg dish.
Very nice.
And we are just gonna bring that water up to a boil, and we're gonna add some sea salt. And then what we'll do is we're just gonna take the asparagus. We can discard that. Thank you. So we'll just take the asparagus and we'll do the whole tip.
I love asparagus in the springtime. It's one of the vegetables I look forward to the most.
Yeah, it is amazing when it's really fresh. So then we're just gonna take the rest and we're just gonna cut it on a bias.
And this is gonna be for a salad.
Correct. We'll just do a little bit of a composed salad on top of the, with the poached eggs. The asparagus and the peppery arugula, I think will go really nice with this.
Baby micro arugula.
Okay, so we're just gonna take the asparagus and drop it in the boiling water, and we'll let that cook for about a minute.
So super quick.
Super quick.
Okay.
And then in the meantime, this is gonna be a warm salad. So we're gonna keep the arugula off to the side.
All right.
And what we'll do is just gonna take a little bit of raw shaved shallot. Just a little bit. And we're gonna add a little bit of lemon juice.
These are tiny little lemons you have.
They are. Some of the citrus fruits are having issues this year, especially in California
All
with
the
all
rain.
the rain. Yeah. So the asparagus is there.
So bright green.
All right, and we're just gonna add this warm. We're not gonna shock it or anything. We want that warm for the salad.
Okay.
All right.
You can smell it. It smells really nice.
And now the last stage is going to be we're gonna poach the eggs.
Okay.
So you don't want it boiling vigorously. No, you just want it simmering. It's gonna, as soon as you add the eggs, it's gonna drop the temperature a little bit because the eggs are cold.
Ah, okay.
All right.
Look at that, it really does stay totally together.
Right, so right
Yeah.
away. So once that, when you drop that in, you want to turn up the temperature a little bit because that temperature drops, but you don't want to boil it. So
Okay.
you see how it's just simmering a little bit to the outside. If you hold it at that temperature, that will be a perfectly poached egg. The last stage of the fingerlings is we're going to just add a little bit of Swiss chard to it.
Very nice.
And we're going to just use the leaf itself. take the stem off. Now, I wouldn't recommend throwing these away. We actually take those and we'll pickle them.
Oh, nice.
And we'll use those for some cheese plates and charcuterie.
That's so fun. Waste not, want not. Kind of almost has the same texture as like celery.
Yeah. All right, so this will be the last, nice and golden brown.
They look awesome.
All right, and let's add a little bit more thyme to that.
Okay. You can't beat a crispy potato. You just can't.
And the last thing we'll do with the potatoes is we'll just add a little bit of drizzle of olive oil to it.
Nice.
All right.
Now for this egg, how do you know when the egg is ready?
Timing is always a question that's subjective. So you essentially are going to take the egg, and what's going to happen is the egg actually, there's a little bit of translucent there left. So we're going to cook it when it gets to that point. We're going to take it for about another 45 seconds.
Okay.
And you're going to have it perfect. So you want it so that the white is solid, but the yolk is still
runny.
oozing out
Oh,
all
yeah.
over the.
It's all about the
and
yolk.
it serves as a sauce for the potatoes and the salmon.
Totally.
And the fat content is pretty awesome. So we can start and finish our composed salad. We're just going to take a little bit of olive oil. And salt and pepper. And lemon juice.
Got a lemon for you right here.
Great. We'll just do a little bit of lemon juice and keep it really light and fresh.
Super simple.
Stay tuned for more from the Hotel Bethlehem. We're back with Chef Michael Adams of the Hotel Bethlehem.
You know, use your judgment. You want to make sure that, again, the white is soft, and if you feel that that's still slightly under,
Oh yeah.
okay, so you want to let it go maybe another 45 seconds.
We want that runny yolk though.
Yep, and in the meantime, we can get the salmon out of the pan and the potatoes on the plate. All right.
This looks awesome. It's nice to get your veggies in at breakfast,
No doubt.
you know? Then you feel good for the rest of the day. You can have dessert, maybe a cocktail.
Now, when I do these at home, I use duck fat. Even
Now,
with
why
the
would
salmon.
you keep that for home? Why wouldn't you do that in the restaurant?
Because it makes everything taste good. So then we're just going to take the salmon.
Beautiful. So this is going to be for two.
This is going to be for two, correct. All right, and then we're just going to make a kind of a flat surface for the egg, so it doesn't puncture the egg when you.
Okay, that's a great tip.
All right. So let the water drain out.
Nice.
You know what? This isn't only great for breakfast. You can probably eat this for dinner.
I would eat this for any meal. I love breakfast for dinner.
All right.
Nice, that feels perfect.
All right, and then we'll do a little bit of the composed asparagus and arugula salad with shallots, olive oil, little lemon juice, and salt and pepper.
Nice. Kind of brightens the whole thing up a bit.
All right. And then we will have, we'll drizzle a little bit of this on the salmon and the eggs.
Nice. This is almost
just
like
a
a
little
hollandaise
bit.
replacement.
Pretty much. Same mouthfeel.
Same color for sure.
All right.
This looks fantastic. Just a little more garnish. You just can't help yourself, can you?
All right. And there's
Amazing.
the dish.
Let's bring this over to the table and have ourselves a taste. This looks amazing. Can't wait to dig in. So please
Thank
join
you.
me. Knife.
Thanks.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Now here's the moment of truth. Ah, look at that. That's perfect. Perfect. Awesome. This would be the perfect dish to serve at like a wedding shower or a baby shower, a nice little brunch dish.
Absolutely. And look at all that juice in the salmon, right?
It's perfect.
Very moist.
It's perfect. And people can find this or something similar on the menu. Right? It's so good, it's so simple, but everything is executed perfectly. And that is the mark of a great chef, which I think we all know by now, you are. The egg is just absolutely perfect. The yolk is just runny enough. The white's perfectly set. It makes the potatoes taste really creamy and amazing. And they're nice and crispy, a little bit of onion.
Peppery arugula.
I love it.
Thanks.
Well, you know, I'm coming into the restaurant to get this dish very soon. Everything you cook on the Chef's Kitchen is always amazing. Always
you.
happy to have you here.
Thanks.
Come
It's
back
great
and
to be
see
here.
us again.
Will do.
Great.
Thanks.
The Lehigh Valley's premier hotel, Historic Hotel Bethlehem, is perfect for any stay, offering 2 restaurants by notable chef Michael Adams, 1741 on the Terrace, an upscale dining experience, and the Tap Room, a casual restaurant. Guests enjoy 24-hour room service, along with the Shop at Hotel Bethlehem, featuring Penn State Creamery ice cream, and offering the finest in accessories. 2 beautiful ballrooms and ample meeting space make Historic Hotel Bethlehem the place to host your next event. Stay with us at Historic Hotel Bethlehem and feel at home.
I think it's amazing. The people here are just amazing to work with. It's a really fun set. Nicole has been fabulous. And, you know, just the opportunity to be here is great.